Chris here from YRG, and I want to talk about an application that comes up with SCARA robots sometimes with customers. So here behind me, I have a YK400-XE SCARA, and you can see that it's doing a torque movement here because we had a customer ask us, can you do torque applications with SCARA robots and push to a repeatable force on there? So the best way to kind of demonstrate that is using just a simple little scale here. So let's kind of talk about this scale and what it's kind of doing here. So here you can see the SCARA is coming down and we're putting it into torque mode and it's pushing down on the scale. And we're getting about 5 pounds or so. So we'll watch a couple of movements here. And I may skip the video so that way we can watch a couple cycles here to watch repeatability. So is it possible to do a pressing or torque application without using an analog transducer or an LVDT? The answer to that question is yes or no. I mean, it depends on your application. So this particular SCARA is rated at a certain kilogram of payload, which in the terms of just talking, in general terms, about 30 pounds of force is what this SCARA could apply in the z-axis of pressing. And then, so that is scaled across the percentage of force. So we can do 100% force down to about 10% force. So if we have to have a little bit of torque to create movement, so that's why it's a minimum of 10% torque up to 100% torque. And then we have a resolution of 1% increments of that. So when we scale all of that, we get, every 1% increment could be anywhere between, 0.4, 0.3 pounds. And if that works for your application where you have a 1% resolution equaling into some sort of a force, then you can use a SCARA for your application. But however, if you're trying to do grams or something that's very fine adjustment, or you want very high repeatability, then use a transducer or use an LVDT for force measurement. Don't use the SCARA's quill to do that. So yes and no, you can do force applications with SCARAs. Let's do a little quick review of the program here. So what's happening is we're putting the SCARA into a force movement here. And to get the best repeatability in this application, we're about 20% speed and torque. We can do 100% speed and torque, but in order to get the most repeatable force in this application, we're running it at a slower rate. And to get the force out of the robot, we're only applying 11% torque. So torque in a SCARA robot is in a percent format, so the resolution of this is every 1%. And that would be the only thing that we would need to worry about in other applications, is whether or not 1% resolution is enough to do some sort of a pressing application like this.